Michael Anthony, what's up, man? Hey folks, hope you're doing well. Just getting my morning, well, it's actually past the morning for me. I woke up late, had a late night, and I've got some very strong coffee going on here. But I'm glad you could join me. Turn down these drums. And so welcome to the Bass live stream. Oh, that's some strong coffee. Yeah, it's going to be real interesting as we go along. But welcome. I'm glad you could join me. Any questions you have about bass playing, please pop it down in the chat, which I'm going to check out right now. Hey, Paul. From the Sleepers AD. How you doing? Thanks for jumping on. Michael Anthony, as always, man. Good to see you. Elaham, how you doing? You're very curious about the Mode series. Do they have a very flat fingerboard radius like most Ibanez, or do they have a more radius traditional Fender feel to you? I'd say it's almost like an in-between, you know? But let's see. It's got a slight radius to it, right? It's ever so slight. It definitely has some more traditional elements. So kind of looking at the kind of Fender side of things, but it still, to me, has that really comfortable Ibanez feel. So it still, to me, feels like an Ibanez, you know? That's the cool thing, is that it definitely has that vibe. So it's a very easy instrument to play, and it's 18 millimeters string spacing, which is pretty typical these days for a lot of basses, right? And that's right, Michael Anthony has a 6-string version, which is really cool. I'm yet to play the 6-string version, which I hope I get to very soon, since I'm definitely more of a 6-string guy, you know. And it's super lightweight as well. So they did a really great job with this instrument. It's definitely being quite a breakthrough for them, which I'm really happy to hear about. So yeah, phenomenal instrument. This is the 1605 MDM 1605 by Ibanez. Oh, I'm feeling this coffee just starting to like surge. You can feel the front of it. So it's gonna be interesting today. It's gonna be great. So the nerdier bass questions, the better. I'll totally like go down those rabbit holes, since I've got some very strong coffee with me today. So yeah. No, yeah, Elaham, you should definitely, if you're, I think, and you're totally right, in terms of like a jazz bass that's a 6-string bass that is on a more mid-priced level, this is definitely one of the only ones. The other one I could think of would be maybe Sadowski, their new Metro series. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. But definitely, if you're going for that, something that has a lot of kind of different electronic features and all that, different wood combinations, definitely the Ibanez one is really good. So, you know. It's like, this isn't helping my gas. For those wondering, he's not talking about like anything gastrointestinal. He's talking about gear acquisition syndrome, which is pretty hilarious. Yeah, no, if sometimes this live stream won't really help you with your gas, or maybe it might, I don't know, but for the majority it hasn't really helped people with their gas. So you're in the right place. And your two main basses are a Mexican 5-string J bass with flats, nice, and an EHB, nice 1005 for high C, nice. Okay, yeah, I think you'd love the 6-string, man, absolutely. And yes, Michael Anthony makes a good point. Ibanez, they don't claim this as their premium line. You know, this is just like a good kind of, midpoint production line, but they've set the bar so high with it. That's the thing. And from what I understand, they did just release a premium version of this. So remember what it's called. You can see it on the website. It's called the Mode Ibanez Visions. And it's the same thing, but except it's got some more high-end woods. So definitely you're gonna pay more for it, that's for sure. The high-end one, it uses black. It's a black limber top and alder body. And then the neck is S-Tech wood, so roasted maple neck. But same pickups, same electronics, that kind of thing. And yeah, so that would be the, and it's made in Japan. That one is made in Japan, whereas these ones are made in Indonesia. So that's the other thing too. So yeah, I'm gonna play a little more. And this drum loop is actually, no, it's not Nate Smith, but it sounds like it could be, right? No, it's actually this really great drummer. He makes some really cool drum samples. His name is Tammuz. It's just Tammuz Beats, so Tamuz, Tammuz. So yeah, that's what it, but really nice drum loops. He's recorded them very nicely, and he's a great player himself, and I love playing along to them. Hey, Andre Risco, how you doing? Yeah, such a beautiful bass to play. And just so many different usable sounds as well that you can get out of it, which I absolutely love. So right now I've got the front pickup on, and if you want to get that real throaty kind of P bass kind of growl. where I've got the action on this is kind of low. I have it kind of low on it. It kind of feels right now on this instrument. It just kind of feels the best on it. And hey, what I can do, Elaham, to further not help you with your gas, is I can actually play along to a track in this tone configuration, and to kind of give you an idea, and anybody else an idea of what this could sound like, playing maybe something that's a little more in that kind of late 60s P bass kind of thing. And these are DR high beams on here, so these are bright strings, but if you wanted to put flat wounds on this bass, you absolutely could. Let's see what would be a good tune to kind of play along to, just to kind of give you all an idea. Definitely something from that era for sure. Right? Let's see. And because I'm definitely... Oh, this would probably be perfect right here. You all know this tune. Easy. You all know this tune. Ha. Right? That's one example. Another one, let's see. If I was to do, let's see. Do I have it on here? If you wanted to go into late 60s, early 70s, this is another one right here. Would be...
Tell that to your kids while you're driving round downtown. And there's only so much oil in the ground. We can't get loose without that juice. Can't get loose without that juice. If we keep on like we're doing, things for sure will not be cool. It's the fact we just ain't got sufficient fuel. 'Cause there's only so much oil in the ground. Sooner or later there won't be none around. oil in the earth. There's no excuse for our abuse. No excuse for our abuse. We just assume that what we use will not exceed the oil supply. And soon enough the world will watch the wells run dry. There's no excuse for our abuse. No excuse for our abuse. We just assume that what we use will not exceed the oil supply. And soon enough the world will watch the wells run dry. 'Cause there's only so much oil in the ground. Sooner or later there won't be none around. You can tell that to your children while you're driving round downtown, that there's only so much oil in the ground. And there's only so much oil in the earth. Sooner than you think there's gonna be a heavy duty done. And there won't be too much time for no merriment on earth. 'Cause there's only so much oil in the earth. We can't get loose without that juice. Can't cut loose without that juice. If we keep on like we're doing, things for sure will not be cool. It's the fact we just ain't got sufficient fuel. Hey.
There is only so much oil. There is only so much oil. There is only so much oil. There is only so much oil.
Oh my god, that is a difficult tune to play. That is just absolute. It is brutal. It's especially like if you're doing it like first thing of the day. That's the craziest thing. So yeah, let me catch up on the chat here. Hey, what you? Oh, there's lots to catch up here. You're playing the Superstition melody over the groove. Nice. Oh, what I was playing earlier, Andres. Nice. Hello from Rome. Yes. Hey, Livio Fraschetti. Thank you so much for joining. I've played in Rome before, with Peter Erskine and the Dr. Band. Loved it. We had a great time. Where did we play? Trying to remember where we played. It was a nice big outdoor jazz concert that we played. This was back in 2017. Absolutely loved it. Great sound, great people, incredible food. Oh my God. That tour of Italy, I don't know how much pasta we had on that tour of Italy, and it was just divine. That's cool. Yeah, you know, you really do feel you're right, Michael. You do feel the fretboard on this instrument. I mean, you should feel it, right? But definitely, it's very responsive, and you don't have to put a lot of effort into it to, you know, it definitely is very sensitive to how you play, which is really cool. And from what I understand, Elohim, these are those noise canceling pickups. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, it's and it's definitely a very modern sounding J bass for sure. But yeah, no, it's all good. Hey, Ska UA, nice to see you. It's been a minute. I hope you're doing well. For those of you who are just joining on, welcome. Well, I've just tried to play a little bit of Tower of Power there. You have to kind of warm up to that. I'll tell you, playing Rocco Prestia bass lines pretty. If you wanna improve like your stamina and your chops, shed a bunch of Tower of Power tunes. It's a whole different kind of beast when. And I used to play in a band where we played a lot of Tower of Power tunes, and so going from one Tower of Power tune to the other, is definitely very difficult. You're playing a lot of ghosted 16th notes all night. There's a lot of that. It's a lot of fun, and when you're playing at like live tempos, which are gonna sometimes naturally be a little faster than what you might have rehearsed. It's definitely you're in for a ride for sure. But if you wanna level up your stamina and endurance, shed some Tower of Power. Like get into the whole thing of Rocco. It's a whole other thing. It can leave you it can kind of leave you breathless at the end because you're like, oh my god, let me just catch my breath. It's like that. It's a lot of fun. And also, it's definitely a foundational type of style as well. His playing, so I think because he influenced a standard of the way that we play, especially the use of ghosted notes as well. It's also how Jaco was influenced. You can hear a lot of Rocco in his playing as well, which is really cool. But cats, yeah, welcome. If you're just joining on, feel free to. I'm having some very strong coffee here, and it's like slowly just kicking in. So please pop your bass questions down below in the chat. The nerdier, the better. Beginner, intermediate, advanced questions, whatever. Please pop them down there. Anything to do with gear, bass techniques, concepts, playing gigs, recording. Anything like that, any questions you have, okay? This is what I do here at Bass with Benjamin, all right? So, and also down below, make sure to have a look at the links that are in the description box for my bass resources, but more on that a little later. So let's see here. Hey, Tekong, nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. And let's see. So that song that I just played, that Tower Power tune, Only So Much Oil in the Ground, that is probably one of the hardest ones, just because it's a freight train. Like, what? It's crazy. It really is. And the hardest thing about it is you can't have your notes being so long. They have to be kind of short. And so this is the thing, is that you need to check out Rocco's, fret hand muting technique. That's the thing, this real bunched up kind of thing. It throws the whole one finger per fret out the window. But this was something he came up with when developing this kind of linear kind of funk style, of playing with David Garibaldi, and it was his thing to make sure that he didn't overstep on what David was playing on the drums. So he essentially, it's that whole concept. I've mentioned this many times before. You have a sound in your head, and you'll adjust your technique or come up with a technique to recreate that sound. And in this case, it was like, okay, how do I play these without, having to always have a foam mute? in the bridge, how do I play these ghosted 16th notes, and I want to be able to choose which ones get to be muted and not. You know what I mean? So that was the thing, just playing it until it felt and sounded right. That's it's quite an amazing thing, right? Because he was self-taught on the instrument, right? He played it the way that that he felt it needed to be played. So that was his thing, which is really cool. Let's see here. And that tune is, the first chord is G minor, but you can look at it as it's like E flat major, right? But it's G minor as the first chord, and then it changes when it goes to the bridge. In the US, that song's in E. Must be the metric system. I love it. That's funny, man. But yeah, E flat for sure. What is my biggest takeaway from playing with Peter Erskine? That's Gotta Feel Insane being one connection away from Zawinul, which means you're only two away from Master. Yeah, I'll tell you. I mean, I could play a Peter Erskine tune after this. I would say that one of the biggest takeaways for playing with Peter Erskine was learning how to properly play with dynamics. I'll tell you really quickly. So I started playing with Peter when I was 26, and he had started. And to preface that even more, so I'm a huge Weather Report fan, if it hasn't been obvious in my past live streams. I'm one of the biggest Weather Report fans ever. So, of course, Peter is definitely one of my idols, and pretty much a majority of everyone who's ever played in Weather Report, in all generations of it, right? So, of course, getting this opportunity to play with Peter was like, oh my God, yes, dream come true, right? And that opportunity came thanks to one of my mentors and great musicians, John Beasley, who I had been playing with a lot in his group called the Monkestra. And so Peter had formed this group called the Dr. Band, and it was like his return or re-emergence back into playing electric jazz fusion, because for the past few decades he'd been playing mainly more acoustic kind of stuff with his own projects and other people. And he would also he would play some electric stuff, but in terms of running his own project, he wanted to do a kind of return to that, right? And so the first bassist in the group was Yannick Gwizdala, and they put out the first record, which is really great. You should check out the first record, so they recorded that, and I think they did a few gigs or whatever. But then I got an email from Peter, and I hadn't met Peter before, saying, "Hey, hello Ben, my name is Peter Erskine. John Beasley recommended that I call you to play on an upcoming show we have. It's the release of our first record for the Dr. Band. Are you interested and available to play?" And without even looking at my calendar, whatever was going to be on the calendar would just have to get shafted, essentially. I was like, yes! And so I was like, wow, I'm going to play with Peter Erskine. And so he sent me, all the charts and the recordings and all that, and I went to practicing right away. And I reached out to John, said, "Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. I'm excited to play." So anyway, I come into the rehearsal. I'm super prepared. I've been shedding the tunes every single day, multiple times a day. I've made my notes on the charts and everything. I'm ready. I'm eager. I'm like, yes, let's go. And we start playing the first tune, and after the first tune, he said, Benjamin, can you please turn down the volume? That was the first thing he said to me. I was like, oh yeah, no problem. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just got a little carried away there. And at that time, I would be playing pretty loud. I still kind of play a little loud, but I'm more aware of it now. But a lot of gigs I was playing super loud. Mainly because I'd be playing with very loud drummers and all that. But anyway, and so throughout the rehearsal, there were a few times, just bring it down. I'm like, okay. And so I brought it down. But I was starting to kind of feel a bit bummed out because it was just like, well, aren't we playing electric fusion or whatever? It needs to hit, it needs to be strong. But as I went on with this band, and I thought, this is the other thing, I thought I was only just going to be filling in for Yannick on this one gig because maybe he couldn't do it for some reason. But then when you start getting asked to play on a tour and then record on the next album and then go to Italy and Europe and other places, then you get the idea, oh, am I now the bass player in this band? Which was like, yeah, cool. But the thing I learned was that things didn't need to be very loud. Even when you're playing in this electric setting. And there were times where we did get up there. We did get pretty loud. But there were also a lot of times where we played pretty softly as well when it needed to. But you don't want the whole thing to be all the way up here. And that was the one of the biggest takeaways I learned. And also it helped in terms of preserving the endurance and facility of my playing. And it was actually really nice. Instead of hammering it, or playing really loud, and also saving my ears and all that. It was nice to play these tunes at a very comfortable dynamic and to be able to grow that dynamic if we needed to. Like in someone's solo or whatever, or a bigger part of a tune. So this is when I really learnt how to play with dynamics properly and to listen and to come down and to really go there. And so that was when I was be focusing a lot on my technique, doing a lot of palm muting and being able to pay attention to that kind of thing. And it was beautiful. It was one of the biggest takeaways was when you play soft, it doesn't mean that something doesn't need to feel good or have that intensity and also to groove just because you're playing at a softer dynamic. That was one of the biggest things for me. Because I always thought, in order for something to groove hard and to feel good and be exciting, it has to be at a triple forte dynamic, which is not true. It might seem like that, right? But in this kind of setting where, we're still functioning as a jazz ensemble, we're taking elements of playing acoustically, but then also elements, obviously, of playing electric. So that was one of the big things right there. One of the things I loved about playing on this Italian tour that we did was majority of the venues that we played were outside. They were outdoors. And so we had, we had really great sound, and also we didn't have to worry about these weird slapbacks from walls or whatever. So we could actually play at a pretty comfortable dynamic level, and as we all got more comfortable with each other, and especially myself and Peter, he would be taking more risks as well, and he would be having a lot of fun and really just kind of hammering out on the drums as well. I mean, there were some incredible moments where it was just like, wow, And I had to kind of pinch myself, be like, wow, playing with these cats right here. So that was Peter Erskine on drums, John Beasley on keyboards, Bob Shepard on saxophone, and myself on bass. And it was really cool. Definitely one of the big highlights of my career, playing in that band, and just being able to contribute to the sound of it as well, and developing a close working relationship and personal relationship with Peter himself, who's one of my mentors, and someone who is, he's like an uncle to me, really is, So thank you, Pete. Love you, man. Let me catch up on the chat here. Michael Anthony is playing some piano now. That's great, I encourage anyone to, if you're a bass player, right, in this case, encourage you to explore other instruments as well. Piano is really great. Drums is also really great as well. I do know how to play drums. I'm not obviously amazing, but I know how to hold it down, playing some time. Don't ask me to solo, but I'll hold it down with some backbeat or playing some straight ahead. I started on drums before I started playing bass. And I think that was what helped me in terms of the progression into playing bass. But I've always kept this huge interest in understanding how drummers play and the different types of drummers, because that helps with my bass playing, and just the different ways that someone might play a ride cymbal or a hi-hat, or the way they phrase things. It's important for us bassists to know how that all functions. And also, same goes for understanding like harmony. Piano is really great for that, in terms of if you want to expand more on that in terms of chord construction and just voice leading and all that. It's really important. I recommend for anyone to you don't have to be this amazing virtuoso, but just have some basic skills on piano and drums, maybe even guitar as well. That can really help with the overall musicianship, in whatever. Now, I'm not talking about just if you're playing jazz, but anything. Playing rock, or you're writing like some folk tunes, or you play in that kind of vein. It's all music, and these are tools, right? So yeah. Indeed, 317. Nice to see everyone here. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm just kind of having fun with my lots of coffee here. This is a very strong one too. It's on the label. It says extreme, which is pretty funny, and it kind of is. And for those of you who know, like when I get caffeinated here on the live streams, it's definitely a pretty interesting time. Coffee and bass, it's kind of a good combination. I think so. Who agrees? And thank you, Elaham. Thanks so much. Thanks for jumping in. And yes, for anyone who hasn't, please like and subscribe to the channel here, so you can get notified anytime I go live. I do this twice a week. As well as down below in the description box, check out the links to all my stuff. So more on that a little later. So, yeah, exactly, yeah. Sometimes, exactly, Michael, sometimes you go into a club, yeah, and this is the other thing I learned with Peter, is how to play the dynamic of the room, all right? If you're in a small little club, you don't need to be blasting away like you're in an arena. You don't need to do that. And sometimes, a lot of times, your instruments sound, especially with drums and guitars and basses, your instrument sounds really good when it's not being absolutely just pounded. You can really get the great tone, and you can let if you have sound reinforcement, right? So if the drums are being mic'd up, or you got DI'd bass or whatever, you can let the sound reinforcement kind of just reinforce that out front, and it's really nice, even in a studio as well. If you're running through some really great equipment, you can let the preamps and all that kind of do a lot of that work for you as well. But you still need to have, this is the thing with Peter, is that he has incredible control and technique with every part of the drums and cymbal, that it's so, like, even if he was to play a huge rim shot, you don't see his arm going back here to hit it. It was just like, it was powerful, the snap in it. And it was like, whoa, it's insane. That is someone who understands the instrument like anybody else I've ever seen, Insane. Milan, what's up, man? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well, bro. Anthony on bass, man. How you doing? How you cats doing? It's my two cats here who are both from Oregon. The Oregonians. Is that what is that the word? Yeah, no, it's good to see cats. I'm gonna play some more music here actually, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna switch over to my fret list because there is a tune I need to kind of shed for a gig that I do have. So let me just switch over. I might even bring out the upright bass at some point. Just banged my mouth putting on the bass. Who's ever done that? You're like so excited you're putting on your instrument, and then you've like banged it on your nose or like your mouth. It's like you bang it on your nose, and then like it makes your eyes water. Not because I mean, maybe you're crying or whatever, but it's just like it's like a basketball hitting your face. Oh, the struggles of being a bassist, right? Trying not to hit yourself in the face. Now let's. I do have the track, and it's a iReal MIDI backing track, but I need to practice the changes for it because I want to make sure that I'm good. But it's got some beautiful changes. Actually, a Wayne Shorter tune called Anna Maria. And what I'm gonna do? Is my iPad charged? Is it? No, it's not. That's all right. I'll just open it here and fit to page. Doesn't want to do that. No, doesn't want to cooperate. That's nice. Gotta love it when it doesn't want to cooperate. Let's see. Do I have sound? Oh, yes I do. Yeah, this bass is just absolutely insane. I think it sounds better as a fretless than it did as a fretted. And it could be because I put a lot of miles on this instrument as a fretted bass, and then when it got turned into a fretless, it was already like, all right, we're ready to go. Why isn't this doing it the way I want it to? Alright, whatever. Just get on with it. Anyway, Anna Maria. That's gonna be loud. Yeah, that's some changes, man. That's some changes, especially on a fretless as well. Woo! That's the magic of Wayne Shorter. Little reverb. I used the space quite a lot with in Dr. As well. And I was curious because obviously, especially on fretless, Jaco is probably the biggest influence for me, right? And I can understand, obviously throughout Peter's career, especially after Jaco, he's come across many bassists that have done the Jaco imitation thing. Sure, right? He was a huge influence on a lot of us in standard, right? And so I was kind of careful when I started playing with him to not kind of make that so evident right from the start, because I didn't want that to, in a way discourage him, and also I didn't want to kind of just be like, oh, I'm just only this Jaco imitator. And also the music that we were playing, it was a mixture of different kind of things. So it asked for different types of sounds. Although we only ever played one weather report tune in this band, and it was a very kind of obscure tune. It was from the very last album that he and Jaco played on together. It was a self-titled one, weather report from I think 1982. And it was a ballad that Joe Zawinul had written called Speechless. And on the original, Jaco plays this beautiful fretless melody, beautiful tone and everything. And there was two sides of me that were kind of battling with each other. You know, do your own thing, you know, don't do the Jaco thing. And so when I tried practicing it like that, I didn't like it because I knew this tune very well. And then the other side was like, no, you got to play the Jaco essence on it. And by all means, I'm not saying that I can play like him, you know, at all, right? I have that influence, right? I've transcribed a lot of his stuff, researched and his little nuances and the way that he approached fretless, but it still doesn't sound like, you know, Jaco. But there are certain things he's doing on there that I just had to do when we were playing this tune. And I remember when we came to sound check, I had my pedals like set up, like I had the delay set up to kind of have that almost kind of chorusing effect that Jaco would. And Peter, he looked at me, he was like, wow, that's the closest I've heard to, you know, that sound. I just started laughing. I was like, oh my God, he could have told me, because it could have been like, yeah, don't do that. But at all, it wasn't ever that. And so as we started playing more and more, I was bringing more of the Jaco side of things into the playing. And he seemed to enjoy it. Like, you know, even just doing... You know? Like things like that. And it also, because, you know, that was part of that sound, he it fit in nicely with him as well. So it was cool. I always made sure to kind of sometimes restrain myself from overdoing it, but there were times where, especially when we were touring in Italy, where I just went for it. And you know, he seemed to enjoy it, which was cool. So yeah. Well, I'll play one more tune on the fretless. Actually, maybe I'll play that tune, that the only weather report tune that we did. Who's ready for a ballad? No one, but I don't care. I'm gonna do it anyway. It is. I mean, it is a beautiful tune, but just kind of put a little something into perspective here. I just have to make sure I know which things to mute. Let's see. Let me just have a look in the chat here. Do I like Red Baron, Billy Cobham? Oh, absolutely. I mean, Billy is one of my favorite drummers ever. Right? Anything with Billy on it, I absolutely love. Whether it's his stuff or the stuff with Mahavishnu or George Duke, Billy Cobham, anything that he was ever on, even him on like CTI recordings as well. So I would say my favorite CTI recording that he plays on would be Milt Jackson's Sunflower. that's a record that is just absolute. We've just worn that out in this household. And then also even the stuff when he was playing with Horace Silver as well in the late '60s. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, I absolutely love him. Of course, Red Baron. I love playing that tune. You know, played that bajillion times on many jam sessions and gigs. I love it. It's so fun. Like I just love that. Do I coat the fretless fingerboarder to come like that? So yeah, Ibanez did this for me 10 years ago. I told them I wanted this bass to be turned into a fretless, and they're like, okay, we can do that, but just know that, we can't turn it back. I was like, that's fine. And the reason I wanted this to be a fretless is because my 6-string groove line here had become my main instrument, and I was using it for everything, and I wasn't really using this as much, and I needed to. I wanted a really nice fretless bass, and I love the sound of the groove lines, and I figured, well, this would actually be a great fretless, and it is one of the best decisions ever. And so I told them I wanted the Jaco treatment on it. That's what I want. And so that's what they did. So it's got layers. It's got lots of layers of epoxy on it. So it is solid. They filled in with the wood putty where the frets were, and so they did an incredible job of it. So yeah, thank you, Ibanez. Hey, thank you, Takong. Nice to see you. Appreciate you. Have a great rest. And definitely, yeah, reach out anytime, man. Andres, what do I prioritize when playing over chord changes? So, obviously, yes, you want to understand what goes into the chords, right? One of the biggest things for me is definitely listening, for sure. So when I'm playing something that has some complex changes and I'm not familiar with the changes as such, I'm doing a lot of listening to hear what's going on in the voice leading. So there's definitely going to be more space going on. But one of the biggest things I prioritize when playing over chord changes is how can I create a melody over them, right? And it doesn't matter what kind of chord changes they are. And whether it's playing a tune like I just did there, or if I'm playing a blues, right? I'm always looking at, what kind of melody or melodies can I create, and that kind of really dictates. But in order to do that, yes, one of the biggest things that is important, and it's not a thing of like how much theory you know. It's how much listening have you done to the great recordings, and according to the type of genre of music that you want to play, right? In this case, if we're talking about jazz, you really that needs to be a big part of your life. If you want to be a great jazz soloist, yes, understanding the theoretical elements, but also knowing how to turn that information into music, into art. And in order to do that, you need to listen to how it has been done, how the foundational musicians have set the standards of that. So listening to, yes, Sonny Rollins, Dexter Gordon, Lester Young, Dizzy Gillespie, Charlie Parker, like Coltrane, right? It goes on and on. You need to know how it's been done and how it has progressed from there. And that's the thing, listening to records, listening to not just kind of just like little snippets, but listening and immersing yourself in records is a big way of just being in it. So that's what I recommend. And in terms of prioritizing, yeah, again, its melodies. How can I tell a story through this instead of like, how fast can I play on this? That used to be the priority when I was younger. Definitely not anymore. That's for sure. I like to. It's the music part. So yeah. Hey Mario, good to see you. Brandon, of course, man. Nice to see you as well, as always. All right, I'm gonna play this this weather report tune. This was the only weather report tune that I played with Peter Erskine in Dr. Band. Beautiful tune. So let's see if I still remember it. Called Speechless. I'm gonna start that again. Played the wrong note. That's the cool thing, is that even though, yes, this is live and all that, but I'm just gonna run it back and be like, take two. Man. Yeah, what a tune. And again, the only weather report tune that I got to play with Peter Erskine. And whatever weather report tune that was going to be, it was an absolute honor for me to be able to do that, to play with him. And that was him on that recording, with Jaco. That was his playing. And going back to what I was saying about him, about in terms of like dynamics, if you noticed on that tune, he plays very light, but then there was the big moment where he brings it up pretty nicely. Another one of my tunes, my favorite tunes, that probably my favorite tune that Peter is on with Weather Report, is this one, just because in the dynamic range on this is beautiful. But this is one of my favorite just Jaco tunes ever. I think a lot of you cats might know this one. And thank you. I'm glad it sounds good on your end. It sounds good on my end, but I want to make sure it's I want to make sure it's on your end. It sounds great. Okay. Make sure we get that. Some of you might know what tune this is going to be just from what I just did right there. All right. No, not that version. Do I not have the... Oh, I thought I had it. I thought I had it on here. Oh, I guess not. Oh well, doesn't matter. I'm gonna pull out my 6-string. Although maybe I should play a remark you made. Oh, but I just played a ballad. That's the thing, man. It's like, what's the gauge for the string gauge on my fretless? So the strings I'm using high beams on this. DR high beams. So I'm actually using high beams on pretty much all my basses, except for the older basses I have. I'm using fat beams on that. So the string gauge on this, this is a 45, 65, 85, 105, and 130. That's what I'm using. They're kind of new-ish. I probably put them on here maybe 2 weeks ago. So they still have a nice kind of zing to it. Anyway, I'm going to bring out the 6-string because there is another tune I need to actually shed for a gig coming up. This is the cool thing about the live streams, is that I can sometimes, use it to practice tunes for gigs that I have coming up. Turn that off. There we go. Which is really cool. So if you've jack's a little loose on his. Okay. So if you've been following me on Instagram, you might be checking out. You might have seen my stories of. For 30 days, I'm been practicing the gotta match unison lines. Hey, not bad. For the first time today doing that. I've been doing that because I have to play it on a gig coming up. That's the thing. So I'm making sure that I can play it correctly. But this is the thing, is that at one point I was playing it wrong. I was playing it incorrectly, and so I had to kind of fix some of the notes that I was doing, especially the yeah. That. That one right there was one of the hard ones. And so I checked in with the great John Patitucci to see how he was doing it. And so he showed me what he was playing, because I had been studying a few videos of different electric band videos of him playing it from like back in the mid 80s, and then throughout the years that when electric band were playing, and even to like the very last time that he played it, and the way he's playing it is the way that, as I suspected, he had figured out how to do it. But he said that changed over time, especially when he transitioned from the Ken Smith bass to the Yamaha bass. He said the Ken Smith, the neck was a little narrower, and it was definitely easier to shred on. The Yamaha said it was a slightly wider neck, so he had to just kind of adjust with that. He had to adjust. But obviously, as we know, he could just absolutely tear it up on that Yamaha. And he said that the Yamaha sounded better as well. And for those of you wondering whatever happened to the Ken Smith bass, he actually has it. His old Ken Smith. He did sell it in the late 90s, and in recent years it's made its way back to him. So he has it, his old Ken Smith bass, and he told me he's going to get it all fixed up, and back in playing condition. We probably won't see him play it on a gig or whatever, but just, obviously it's a very historical bass. I call it the Gotta Match bass because that's what he used on, played Gotta Match on, obviously. But he said, yeah, definitely on that instrument it was easier to play. And he said, back then you could wake him up at 4 a.m, splash cold water on him, and he could play all that stuff at tempo, which was pretty funny. He did also show me for the he showed me he learned to play that. He played that many different ways throughout the years. So that was one way. Oh, oops. And then he did, which is how I currently play it. So that was really cool, to just see the different ways that he had been playing that. And I asked him as well, because I told him, for some of the things I have to slur the notes, especially. And he said, yes, he started slurring the notes later But earlier on, when he was younger, he was be picking every single note, and you can see that if you look in some earlier videos. So yeah. Oh, Michael, thank you so much. I'll give that a big heart right there. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. And look, I still had to pinch myself whenever, when he called me up, because I had sent a message to him. I was just like, oh my God. So, but no, he is, as we know, he is one of the absolute pioneers of the instrument. Thank you, Six String Dad. And for those of you who might be in New York right now, I know he's playing at the Village Vanguard with great saxophone player Ben Wendell. So if anyone who lives in New York wants to go check out Patitucci, and he said there's some pretty challenging music. It's all upright that he's playing, but you get to see some incredible musicians. So speaking of Patitucci, I'm going to play a Patitucci tune because I have to play this on a gig, which is really cool. This is one of his earlier tunes. I need to bring up the chart so I can see it as well. Read the chat. The chat is always correct. Let me put it into... So this is one of his earlier tunes. This is from his first record, his self-titled one. And this is a pretty fun tune. Change of Season. Oh, the coffee's strong. All right. All right, let's have a go. And I also have to cancel out the bass on this side. All right, let's have a go. Actually, I'm going to try and do this without the chart, because I have been practicing it, but let's see if I can do it without the chart. Might screw up the little bridge part, but we'll see what happens. That's the short version of the song. Obviously, when we play it live, we'll extend it out and all that. But that's you know what's real funny about this tune? It sounds like it could be like Star Trek or something. You know, the Next Generation. Yeah, I don't know. It's that's what I love about it. I don't know. Maybe he was trying to pitch to, you know, because around that time would have been what era of Star Trek would that have been? The one of Captain Luke, right? Luke Picard at that time. You know, Patrick Stewart. So I don't know. Maybe he was trying to pitch to that. I don't know. And, you know, this bass just feels so good. Since we were on Got a Match, why not? I got to practice soloing on it anyway. Why not? Let's just do it. We're here. Except I'm not going to do it at that tempo because I've been practicing it at a faster tempo than the original. So let's put it back to the original tempo. Maybe at the end I could try playing it at the fast tempo, especially for those lines. I want to try the line again. This is the thing, like, it's the entrance going into the thing that Dave Weckl does in that first chorus of his drum solo is just insane, to where, like, I just totally, like, I lose all concept of where beat one is. But then those guys, they just come right in. It's crazy, you know? When they would play it live, Chick and Dave, they'll trade choruses for a while. And then Chick will give the cue during the last chorus of Dave's trading solo. And he plays like a songo rhythm for like the whole chorus while these guys prepare to play the... You know? Which makes more sense because it kind of gives you time to prepare. So when we play it live, that's we're going to do it like that as well. And also just give... I like the trading over the solos. But I want to try this line again. One more time. I got the entrance right this time, though. Ah, missed it that time. Yeah, exactly. See, I can't get it. Now I can't get it. The entrance of it. It's because there's this bit in this drum solo he does like dunk 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 dunk. You know, like I'm like, what? Yeah, see, that's where I like kind of lose it. What did I do on that first time? Try one more time and then, you know, whatever. All right. Yeah, that's the thing. Oh, you had the same thing, Mario? Yeah, oh man, it's crazy, right? I know it's insane. It's like, oh my god. That's the funny thing about it. But it's such a fun tune to play. I'm looking forward to playing it, along with, you know, change of season and all that. And yeah, so folks, I'm almost done here because I'll need to get some lunch soon. But maybe I might finish up with a tune here from the Feel book that I've been enjoying. This really cool app. Figure out what tune I could play. But folks, I really appreciate you hanging out with me today. This has been so much fun, as always. And if you haven't, please like and subscribe to my channel here. And also down below in the description box are all my links to my bass resources. So if you want to check out my courses, take a lesson with me, or even join my one-on-one bass coaching and mentoring program. It's open to all levels of bass playing, even if you are like a straight-up beginner as well. And also any style of bass playing as well. You don't just have to be a jazz bassist. but it's a one-on-one program where I hold you accountable to your goals. I help you set any goals of anything you are trying to achieve with your bass playing, and give you weekly feedback and guidance and the occasional pep talk whenever you need it. So if that interests you, please check it out. The links are down below. And of course, thank you to you cats. I'm just trying to figure out what I should play here. Let's see. Since we were playing Chick Corea, let's play Windows. I love Windows. It's a bit of a difficult tune, but I love the changes on it. And, you know, I love Chick Corea, one of my favorite musicians ever. Let's play Windows. All right, we could do that. Yeah, no, thank you, cats. All right, let's play Windows. Such a cool tune. Such a cool tune. Such a cool tune. That's what the song called. Oh man. Oh man. I'm like, man, I want to play just one more tune. Okay, one more tune. I'll play. Let's play a fast tune, even though we just kind of played one. Let's play a fast swing tune. Mr. PC, Mr. Paul Chambers, by John Coltrane. Why not? Because the coffee is still hitting, and why not? Because we love music. Music is fun. All right. All right, folks. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all hanging out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the links in my description box down below. Thank you all. I hope you've had a wonderful rest of your week, or have a wonderful rest of your week wherever you are in the world. Have a great weekend coming up. Stay safe. Enjoy playing your bass. Enjoy playing music. Play the music you want to play. Listen to the music you want to play. Keep being you. All right? This is the way that you can find your voice. And anything I can do to help you out with your bass journey, please reach out. This is why I have Bass with Benjamin, because I love the bass. I love helping bass players, all you cats, and creating a better world for music and bass playing. So thank you so much, everyone. Take care, all the best, and I'll see you again soon. All right. See ya!